Our apologies, there was a technical glitch there in the headlines. Now, going straight into our big political story of the day, another turbulent day for the Congress party, a day after it saw one of its most high-profile exits. The question now is whether this man, Ghulam Nabi Azad, is headed out of the Congress, because leaders inside the party are surely making it seem so. Jairam Ramesh, former minister, old Gandhi loyalist, took to Twitter to make a scathing, vituperative, ugly attack on Ghulam Nabi Azad. And now lots of other people are defending Ghulam Nabi Azad, leading to a huge split within the Congress party. The question is Ghulam going to be Azad from the Congress soon?
Politics over Padma. And this year, this man who featured on the list of Padam Bhushan awardees is at the centre of it. Ghulam Nabi Azad, a man Prime Minister Modi called a true friend during an emotional farewell speech in the Rajya Sabha in February 2021.
Barefoot थे, लेकिन उसे कैसे पचाना, वैसी चिंता।
The award announcement was met with instant controversy, with several rumours, clarifications and jibes flying thick and fast. The biggest speculation of them is Congress staring at yet another exit. Soon after, veteran Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad, who was part of the rebel G23 leaders group, was conferred the Padam Bhushan, the third highest civilian award on the eve of the Republic Day. Rumours began doing the rounds that the senior leader had removed traces of his affiliation with the Congress from his Twitter bio. Dubbing the reports mischievous, Ghulam Nabi Azad clarified that he has not made any changes to his Twitter profile and that it was nothing but mischievous propaganda to create confusion. What fueled speculation further was, not all in his party seemed happy with his award honour. Colleague Jairam Ramesh posted a cryptic tweet that seemed to take a jibe at Ghulam Nabi Azad. Jairam Ramesh posted a tweet supporting not Azad but another Padma awardee Buddhadev Bhattacharjee and lauded his decision to reject the award. He tweeted Bhattacharjee's move was the right thing to do, as the former Bengal CM chose to be Azad and not Ghulam. A direct dig at his colleague, who didn't seem to have any qualms accepting the honour given by the Modi government. While most in Congress chose to stay silent, only a few like Shashi Tharoor congratulated Azad. The wishes from other parties poured in.
I think it's a very good gesture. He has served nation very well up to this time, and I'm sure he'll continue to serve the nation in the best interests of the nation. We are very happy that he has been bestowed with this award, and I wish him all the best for future also.
Kapil Sibal, another member of the G23, went a step further and slammed Congress for sidelining Azad. The BJP jumped in and accused the Gandhi Parivar of sidelining their party stalwarts.
The insecurities of the Gandhi family has a habit and a standard operating procedure of undermining, insulting and sidelining all those stalwart leaders who have some presence in the state. Whether it is Ghulam Nabi Azad, whether it was Himanta Biswa Sarma or many other leaders who were forced to leave the Congress party because of the humiliation done to them.
There have been several instances that have time and again indicated Azad's disappointment in the Congress and the urgent need for change in the party. Azad, who has held key positions in the Grand Old Party for over 4 decades, had said that unlike in the past, there is no room for criticism in Congress today. The Kashmiri leader was most visibly upset about Congress's failure to put up a significant resistance to Modi government's decision to scrap Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir.
Congress's lukewarm response to Azad's honour is the latest in a troubled relationship between the party high command and one of the most trusted lieutenants for decades, till he openly rebelled over the state of affairs in the grand old party. With video journalist Ankit, this is Mosmi Singh in Delhi for India Today.
So the Congress's reaction or response to Ghulam Nabi Azad has gone from lukewarm, indifferent to downright ugly, direct, ferocious attacks like the ones that have been mounted by people like Jairam Ramesh on Ghulam Nabi Azad. But this is a troubled relationship between the party and the man who has in recent times openly expressed his discontent over the functioning of the grand old party, because Ghulam Nabi Azad is basically the head of the G23, the rebel faction within the Congress party. We break down the several instances in the recent past where Ghulam has appeared to attack his own party. In August 2020, he said if changes don't take place, the Congress will be in the opposition for the next half a century. That didn't go down well. November 2020, he said five-star culture has taken root in the Congress. Again, nobody liked that in the party. Same month, he said that the Congress's organisational structure has collapsed. December 2021, he said, I don't see the Congress getting over 300 seats in the 2024 polls. Same month, he said, no one in the Congress, last month this is, he said, no one in the Congress is ready to listen to anyone anymore. Now, this Kashmiri leader was reportedly most visibly upset about the Congress's failure to put up significant resistance to Modi government's decision to scrapping Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. So what are some of the things that Ghulam Nabi Azad has said? Let me take you through some of the words that Ghulam Nabi Azad has used, because let's make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, he's not a small fry, he's a big leader. He's been General Secretary, he's been a minister, he's been in charge of many things within the party and has been looked at as a troubleshooter within the Congress party. But that relationship is all but over between the Gandhis and Ghulam Nabi Azad. What happened after Ghulam did not mince his words on several occasions to question the grand old party functioning and its leadership? Trouble started mounting for him when the Congress sidelined Azad after his rebellion. The whole G23 blew up in his face. One courtesy meeting over chai with Sonia happened. Ambika Soni was deployed, told to sort out this entire G23 tamasha and try and, calm the nerves of this old guard of the Congress party. The Congress didn't back Ghulam Nabi Azad for a Rajya Sabha seat. His term came to an end. You saw Modi crying. There were emotional scenes in parliament, but his own party did not back him. Azad remained politically active in Jammu and Kashmir in the meantime. He held rallies, he held solo rallies without the Congress support, because there is a increasing feeling within the Congress party that resources for rallies are only for Priyanka, Rahul and Sonia and not for anyone else, least of all those who dare to question the party. Former Union Minister from the UPA government, senior Congress leader Ashwini Kumar is with me live on this developing political story. Ashwini ji, thank you for your time, for speaking to India Today. A very, no exaggeration, sir, to say that a very ugly, open kind of fight has broken out, this time on social media, where, some pretty open pot shots are being taken on the issue of the Padma Award to Ghulam Nabi Azad. What are you making of it, Ashwini ji? You've got Jairam Ramesh saying some pretty flippant, ugly things. Kapil Sibal has jumped in as well. What do you think, sir?
Well, all I can say is that this is an unfortunate spat. It should never have happened. The award is a national honor, irrespective of which party gives to which leader. The award has to be honored and the recipient has to be honored. And the fact that some of our colleagues have used the kind of words like Ghulam and Azad in this connection is nothing less than shameful innuendo. I never expected this from party colleagues, and I think this practice of humiliating senior leaders by the chut bhaiyas of the party is one of the reasons for alienation. And I think the sooner this stops, the better for the party. And I think there are matters which are above politics. Everything cannot be politicized, nor should it be. And a time has come when people should be encouraged to say what is right, not what is expedient.
Is this a breaking point, sir? Ghulam Nabi Azad, yourself, Kapil Sibal are associated with what is, known as the G23. Without referring to the G23, is this some kind of breaking point? Because Jairam Ramesh couldn't randomly have taken this pot shot at Ghulam Nabi Azad. He's a tall leader.
Excuse me, I am not a part of G23. Repeat, I am not a part of G23.
Okay.
But, and in fact, I have been critical about some of their sayings, and I maintain my stand.
Right.
But criticizing Ghulam Nabi Azad for getting an award from the government is wrong. And I think the sooner we recognize the fault lines, the better it is for the party. And as far as some of the people you are referring to as tall leaders, I don't know how tall or small they are. A person is tall or small not by the positions you occupy, but by your deeds and by what you do. And therefore, a time has come when the qualitative distinction of the Congress party needs to be restored.
But the question I'm also asking, Ashwini ji, because, you've been a minister, you've certainly been within the party in times of trouble. My question to you simply is, have things gone, past the point of no return, sir? Because, the reason I ask, let me just complete my question. The reason I ask is because the people who are making these pot shots, these are not social media cells or IT cells or Karyakartas or Youth Congress. These are people who've been union ministers taking these pot shots at each other, sir.
It should not have happened, as I said, and I don't know from where it is coming. But the fact remains that the Congress has a dignitarian ethos. We have been critical, we have opposed each other, we have had differences of opinion, often sharp differences of opinion. But there is a value to the quality of discourse. How can you just say anything about anyone on any platform? It just doesn't do justice to the tradition of the Congress party. And
the leadership, for example, has said nothing about this fresh flare-up that's happened on Twitter. What do you make of that, sir? I mean, it sends out a message of, a bit of a free-for-all. There's no discipline. People are just taking these shots on their own. Or is it an organized attack?
I cannot comment on that either way. I am not privy to the functioning of the people who are concerned with this. But I can say this, and I speak only for myself, and I speak from the dignitarian point of view, that anything that robs the award or the person of the dignity, either in terms of the discourse or in terms of the innuendo, is wrong, and I condemn it.
What can make this situation okay, sir? Do you think the person who has made this attack, do you think Jairam Ramesh should say, I was wrong, it was a heated moment, I apologize for it? Will that make things better, or should it just be swept under the carpet? Because it doesn't look like anyone is in a mood to take back what's been fired, sir.
Well, I think it is never too late to apologize for an error of judgment or for a mistake. It will not diminish anyone. On the contrary, it might redeem the situation. But let us not start humiliating each other. I think there must be some respect for each other's individuality and dignity. That's the point I'm making.
Well, that ship has certainly sailed because, words once spoken, very difficult to take them back. But I take your point. Ashwini Kumar, thank you very much for speaking to India today. Very, very ugly words have been used, and not in a party meeting, but on social media, in full view of the public, in full view of the Congress's voters. And remember, the Congress has a large voter base in the country. They may not be in power, but they still are a national party. And Karyakartas, young leaders, people who want to vote for the Congress have obviously gotten the very wrong message about what appears to be a very vicious internal battle and a lack of discipline with senior leaders colliding in this very public manner. Joining me live now, Charu Pragya of the BJP, spokesperson of the BJP. Syed Asad Abbas is a political commentator. He speaks against the BJP on this particular issue. Thanks to the both of you for being with me. Charu, this has become such an emotive evocative issue because it is centered around the Padma Awards, a Padma Award that was given to Ghulam Nabi Azad. Are you surprised by how the Congress has attacked Ghulam Nabi Azad so viciously over this, with Jairam Ramesh, making that very ugly comment about Ghulam Nabi Azad?
Shiv, it's been apparent for a very long time now that Congress is not the party it used to be. It is in splinters, and there are several segments within the party itself. They all belong to Congress presently, but they don't see eye to eye. And unfortunately, Congress is no longer a party where democracy, discussion and debate is welcome. So either you fall in line and you become a yes man, or you're going to be actually disrespected and spoken about in such a bad way publicly. It's terrible. That should never be the case. Also, I would like to remind them that a government might change, but a Padam Bhushan is going to remain forever. So it's terrible that they have to equate the government of a country to a political party which is in power. Either they are expecting to never let the political circle spin again, and they don't want to be in power ever again. It's just sad when they attack every single thing the government does, even something which is honoring a leader who's put his whole life behind public service in his state. And I think Modi government has been exceptional when it comes to the Padma Awards. They're the people's Padmas. They have not chosen people on the basis of political ideology. This is an award which for the last several years have gone to people who are truly deserving, whether they are from the grassroots, whether they are tall leaders, even if they come from other political parties.
No, absolutely. Syed, no matter what anyone thinks of the ongoing Congress, BJP, tutu meme, that is part of politics. I will not, I will not comment too much on that. But what has happened in the last 24 hours displays a very brazen, very shocking breakdown of discipline. Jairam Ramesh is a former law minister. He's not some IT cell troll, trolling Ghulam Nabi Azad. How can he make such a shameful, pathetic comment? A Jairam Ramesh who probably couldn't even get 10 votes for himself if he went and stood for an election.
Shiv, firstly, my dear friend, wishing you and all the viewers
and
of
to
India
you, Syed. Good to see you.
A very happy Republic Day. Now coming straight to the point, it's very interesting how the BJP spokesperson knows so much more about the Congress party than their own party. Which party, Shiv, which party has no internal differences? I think that is the fact of the matter.
But you don't see BJP, you don't see BJP walas taking swipes at each other on social media. I'm sure Charu and her colleagues attack each other in internal meetings. That's the whole point.
Well, I'll give that one to you, Shiv. Now coming straight to the point, coming straight to the point, Shiv, we need to understand here. Jairam Ramesh, of course, is not a part of the G23. We know Raj Babbar, Kapil Sibal, and also Anand Sharma came out and congratulated. Mind you, also Shashi Tharoor came out in the open. Let me take a leaf out of Charu Pragya's book and say, I think we need to revere the words of late Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, who said, मतभेद होना चाहिए लोकतंत्र में जमहूरियत में मतभेद होना चाहिए लेकिन मतभेद नहीं
लेकिन ट्विटर पे नहीं आई एम श्योर वाजपेयी जी didn't mean Twitter even though Twitter came much after he said that.
Well, Twitter of course. So last point I'd like to make, Shiv, 30 seconds and I'm out of this. The fact of the matter, Shiv, we need to understand here that one Jairam Ramesh does not speak for a Shashi Tharoor, neither does he speak for a Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi or a Priyanka Gandhi. So this must be seen only as Jairam Ramesh's contribution, but we must also think that politics is all about pragmatism. The same Ghulam Nabi Azad who spoke so brutally to a Modi ji during the abrogation of Article 370 and today is going out and accepting the award.
No, but what?
Like they say,
this
is politics. Politics
have Congress leaders not accepted awards, Padma awards? There are anyway. I don't want to go into a tangent of whether it's proper or not to accept these awards. That is a separate debate altogether. My simple question now is about the Congress party. Now, there are many people who will say, why do you guys keep attacking the Congress party? Why don't you question the government? I want to just quickly, say one thing before I come to you, Charu. This entire tamasha that we're seeing within the Congress party, it debilitates the idea of a strong opposition. The Congress is so busy fighting its internal fires, there is no semblance of an opposition. And that's why many of the things that the opposition sort of alleges that the government is getting away with If it is getting away with them, it is getting away with them because there is no opposition. You're so busy fighting these stupid, ununited internal fires that you have no strength or potency left to actually keep the government in check. Let's leave that aside for a moment, but I wanted to clarify on that. Charu, the question of discipline is important. Every party has internal fights, every party has internal dissent, which is handled in a manner because it's also about the kind of message you are sending out to millions of your supporters, karyakartas, voters, admirers, donation givers, people who want to join the party, saying that, boss, no matter what is happening on the inside, I want to get the impression that this party has discipline. The Gandhis have not said anything about what Jairam Ramesh has said. People on the outside will think that the Gandhis are firing off Jairam Ramesh's shoulders.
Shiv, I want to say something in a non-partisan way here. Today is Republic Day. It's very unfortunate that the oldest political party in our country has been reduced to a party which cannot even put up opposition.
It's sad.
It's very vital for our democracy that we have a vibrant opposition. And this opposition is coming from regional parties. This opposition will come from very new political parties, but not from the Congress party. And they claim to be the grand old party. Also, it sends a very wrong message on a day such as this, when you cannot even keep the dignity of something as honorable as the Padma Awards. No, this is not some internal award which is being given in-house. This is an award which is historical. This is an award that people strive for. This is an award which is actually the biggest jewel that you can be decorated with as a civilian in our country. And in spite of that, when you take pot shots at somebody who has won it instead of congratulating, and I just want to ask my co-panelist and friend, did Rahul ji congratulate or Sonia ji congratulate? No, they did not. They have refrained from getting into this. So actually, I think that they are firing from someone else's shoulder, letting someone else do the dirty job for them. And this debate, as long as it's not going to be welcome in the Congress party, it will keep splitting. The ground moves from beneath the party's feet. They don't even know what has happened. Every single person Rahul Gandhi considered closest to him has left him. Whatever people are remaining, I think they must be living in a state of suffocation like the others. God knows when they will leave and they will join another political party. So either you allow a space for discussion and debate, or watch your party crumble, and not just the party, you watch the opposition crumble.
No, because the Congress, Syed, the Congress appears to be, I am no one to advise a political party. I am a very ordinary journalist. But the Congress, in its wisdom, maybe right or wrong, has decided to hell with these guys. I don't care who loses. We will try to keep whoever it is back. But whoever wants to lose, please get lost. We don't care about you. We will call you cowards. We will call you traitors. That's fine. The party may be irritated about the manner in which people are leaving, so they are doing that. My simple question to you is, Ghulam Nabi Azad is not just anyone else. He's a big veteran. He's a tall leader. He's been a former union minister, as has been RPN Singh. My question to you, Syed, is very simple. Is this a point of no return? Every time there's a little bit of a problem, the Gandhis will just make the situation so bad that someone just has to leave. Next, we might just see Ghulam Nabi Azad also exiting the party.
Two quick points, Shiv. Kindly allow me a minute's time. Well, to those IT cells who call you of not being fair, I completely disregard them, because I've been testimony to the fact that you've questioned both Congress, BJP, or even a TMC.
Yeah, always.
So now coming straight to the point. Absolutely, absolutely. And as a matter of fact, now coming straight to the point, many of which we need to understand here. Now look at the BJP spokesperson coming out and speaking so highly of Padma Awards. It's great. We all must. But back in the days when Congress was in power, Manmohan Singh Part 1, Manmohan Singh Part 2 for 10 years, it was the same BJP leaders who said that the Padma Awards have been compromised. It is very interesting how quickly they changed their tone.
But they were they were talking about it being about them basically giving it to their own. And not really being a people's Padma. I think that was the point. Not to defend. I just think that was the point being made.
So the same way they could also be said when last year we had this debate about Kangana Ranaut being given away and many others deserving did not. But that is another debate. I agree with you. But yes, Shiv, I agree with you on one front that yes, opposition is the backbone of democracy, and the democratic opposition must be strong. Because Modi ji in his own words says that this opposition needs to be there for the better functioning of the democracy. Now coming to the point of Ghulam Nabi Azad, I would hail a Buddhadev Chatterjee who stuck by his
Bhattacharjee.
guns, who stuck by his ideology and rejected these awards.
It looked like he
Why?
changed his
because
mind,
a politician might change the party, a politician, but a true leader will never let
Okay.
go. So now coming from this, to me, I would never accept it if I was in his place. But then again, the debate goes on of
Okay.
a Ghulam and an Azad.
Yeah, I have only 20 seconds left to you, Charu. 20 seconds, quickly.
So, it's very easy to say that it's better to reject an award such as this. But trust me, those who do repent it later, or they come back and say sorry and take the award. Because
mean
like
award
I
wapsi.
said, honor is going to stay not just with the person it has been given to, but with that person's family,
Okay.
with that person's community, city, everything. We need to be respectable to the traditions of these awards. You cannot trivialize them.
I just want. I'm just okay. I'm going to have the last word because it's my show, and I'll
Pragmatic
just
politics
say.
is the play.
I'll just say. I think it's actually nicer if political parties and governments give Padma awards to their rivals rather than parties giving it to their own people. I'm going to leave it to the last word. No reactions on that. I don't mean to be provocative. Thank you very much, Charu and Syed. Really good to see you. Happy Republic Day. Thank you for your time on this day.